An Ohio teacher is suing her former school district for allegedly forcing her to resign after refusing to use students' preferred pronouns. Vivian Geraghty, a former English teacher at Jackson local schools, alleging that while teaching at Jackson Memorial Middle School, she was instructed to address two students by their preferred pronouns and their preferred names. Logan Spena is her attorney and legal counsel at American Defending Freedom. Logan, thanks so much for coming on. If you can, walk our viewers through the incident leading up to your client's resignation. What happened?
Well, it's basically just like you just described it. So Vivian's a teacher. She teaches middle school, and two of her students asked her to personally facilitate their social transition, use new names and pronouns to communicate that a male child is female or that a female child is male. That's dishonest, and Vivian believes that it's harmful to children based on evidence. And so she went to her principal to explain that she couldn't do this. The students never complained. There was never any disruption of the school. But as soon as school officials found out that it was her religious beliefs that made her unable to do that, within 2 hours of learning of this, they handed her a laptop, forced her to write her letter of resignation, and escorted her out of the building.
Before I get to the legal part, I'm just curious, and maybe you know or not, but did the parents of the student or students get involved in any way? Did they know about these pronouns, preferred names?
The parents were aware of the request to use the names and pronouns, and they supported that for their children, but they were never aware of Vivian's reluctance. And again, there was never any complaint from any parent or any student or any teacher. Vivian went to her administration to try to work this out. But as soon as they found out about her religious basis for being unable to personally validate these identities and personally reinforce them by using names and pronouns, they made her resign.
Got it. All right. So here we have a teacher that essentially refuses to use these preferred pronouns, preferred names, citing religious beliefs. Now take us through that in terms of Vivian and a legal argument. Where is that? Kind of explain that portion to us.
Sure. There's really two main components: free speech and free exercise of religion. On the speech side, the government can't force its employees to personally recite the government's message without showing a really strong interest in doing that. And there's no interest whatsoever here because there was no disruption of the school. In America's public schools, the government's not allowed to decide what an orthodoxy is from a political or moral or religious standpoint. The issues of what makes a man or a woman is a matter that goes to the core of our existence and our political order itself. And the schools can't force people to take one side of that under the free speech clause, but that's what they did. On the free exercise of religion perspective, schools have to treat everyone equally, regardless of their religious beliefs. And the fact that they forced her to resign within 2 hours of finding out what her religious beliefs were shows that they were hostile to her Christian faith. And that violates the free exercise clause of our First Amendment.
Was there any argument between the principal and Vivian when Vivian went to the principal and said, hey, look, I just don't believe in this. I don't feel comfortable with this. Was there any option for this teacher to go another route, maybe go to another classroom, anything of that sort?
There wasn't, and that's part of the problem. They didn't discuss any potential accommodations, even though there were some available. One of them is what you just mentioned, perhaps reassigning either Vivian or the students. Another would have been to allow her to address the students by last name. None of that was discussed, and Vivian was blindsided by the fact, really thunderstruck by the fact that they forced her to resign so quickly without even exploring any potential alternatives.
All right, Logan Spena, keep us posted on that lawsuit there. We appreciate you coming on and sharing that.
Will do. Thanks.
Got it.